Greetings and welcome, my burbs, to another look at Starbirds, a game currently in early access developed by Tucana Interactive and being published by them, and as well as the Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell channel, which I enjoy a great deal on YouTube with their interesting visual style and easy way of explaining things, going over some very interesting concepts most of the time. Anyway, so what is Starbird? Starbird is essentially a story about, well, these birds going from their home planets, venturing out into the stars with their, ever-progressing technology as they discover new things. How does this play? Well, a little bit like this. Alright, so essentially, here's the home planet. We're currently in the system of Sablina. This is the home star system of the birds. The yellow dwarf star, the swarm people, what the birds call. Conditions are perfect for life to evolve into spacefaring civilization. Just what they're about to do. This is basically all tutorial levels. We'll be diving into that. And the other star system we can go to is Ravsicle. Once a cozy place, the F-type star Ravsicle is now shrouded in interstellar dust, with the permanent sunset dragging temperatures below freezing across the entire system, which also becomes a plot point later on. Anyway, just for showcasing the overall mechanics and a little bit of the story, we'll just start in Sector 2, A Strange Discovery. Skip Chapter 1 because that's just an entire tutorial and just not that interesting to watch. We do that over. We'll just start here. Captain, getting a strange reading from the sector. My senses have picked up a statistical anomaly, something with extreme mass and density. That sounds just like the kind of resource we're looking for. Where is it? I have to get closer to investigate. But Captain, there is the matter of the debris field. I recommend we make our approach steadily over a few days, carefully monitoring. What are you squawking about, Captain? This is a great unknown that we came out here for. Don't let Stella scare you. I'm not scared. Science Officer Stella set a course for that group of asteroids. Scared? I'm not afraid of rocks. Very close now. Let's land on the asteroid and find this strange object. Right, this one. And we land by just selecting any one of these landing craters. This rock has to be the culprit. What is that? And then he's talking about this thing. Great gizzards, I've never seen anything like this before. I'd like to take it to our station for examination. Seems to have fused with that asteroid. That ain't a problem. All you need is an excavation hub. Luckily for you, I know how to build one. We're missing the tech points to start researching. One way to obtain tech points is space station with modules. Alright, so in order to get tech points, what we need to unlock this, we need to find some water. Water is this. At least it is over here. Also closer by, so let's just create some extractors. Plug them down. Now, each level 1 landing pad can handle about 4 of these connections, so may as well map them out. And we have our lab. I'll just leveling up the station level. Modules need taking care of sometimes, much like plants. Using supply classes is a reliable method of earning credits and tech points by delivering more of the same result. Indeed, so we will need... Basically we need more tech points, so that's the only option we're given. Our station level goes up as we put in more modules, as well as max out the amount of sources in. give us some passive income over time, the maximum. But anyway, let's start researching this. Now we have this, we can move these around if we want to speed something up. I think at the top gets the most resources. Alright, we have the excavation hub claimed. We can now put on this. Come on, Ruth, what's taking so long with the excavation? I want to get to that strange object. Hey, this ain't like building a nest. Sticks and feathers ain't gonna cut it for high-tech work. Unless you want to peck that thing out with your beak like we used to mine in the old days. No, that doesn't sound like much fun. That's what I thought. Let's get going. These resources to get started. So it wants oxygen and gold. And we'll also just keep doing resource quests. Let's get up a little bit of tech. Alright, so I need to deliver straight to this hub. Oxygen can make by water into a refiner. We can do that locally. Refiner. We can drag the core around as we wish, but for most intents and purposes, you want to keep these as short and direct as possible. We'll start needing some cash. Keep moving. What? While the supply keeps getting delivered. Okay, so now we've got oxygen and we can pump that into there. We don't need to do much more than this. Because, well, it does need 8, we don't need to push that hard. The other resource we need is gold, which we can also get on this rock. Pump that in correctly. Also, would like to deliver some gold to our station. And now we're out. But we can deploy a rover, collect these nuggets on the surface, that will give us a little bit of cash or tech points. And it's just a nice little, neat little game to do. Drag the rover around, so it follows where your cursor goes. More cash, please. Yeah, overall the gameplay style probably would be something akin to a like a simplified Factorio, I guess. That's not doing either game because the favors I get, but it's the closest analogy I can come up with. Alright, looking good so far. The next step is to tickle the object with a little radiation. I'm gonna need some uranium. Only problem is that there's no uranium on this rock. Need to get it from some other asteroid. Right, that's fine. That's where the other asteroids come in. So, this one has uranium on it, based on our initial estimates. And we need to claim a site. Blue. And start delivering uranium. Now initially we can only send it directly to the station, so that's what we do. Making more money. We need a landing pad. Buyer's gold, which is already being received into the main base. See, our supply of goods is going well enough. And overall, the basic resources that you deliver need about 6 level 1 extractors. You want to max that out. It is not, strictly speaking, our goal here today. Alright. Let us get another launch pad. Let's find our little rover. Help speed up with money production. Our excavation here. Landing pad. Like that. Here we have our idle launch pad. Ready to deliver some uranium. This exits. And we connect them like that. Now you can only collect one launch pad to one landing pad, so keep that in mind as well. Go. And in the meantime, we would like to keep giving more money, and I'll just go and scan the other asteroids, because might as well. Alright, let's get back to the excavation. It should now be receiving everything it needs. Here comes the uranium. I do like how everything is quite nicely laid out. The every symbol looks clear enough, and you can easily identify them even if you can't see the different colors. Which is... Alright, we're almost there. Pretty sure this is the last thing we need to break this strange effect loose. Alright, we need some quartz. Click on quartz. Quartz resource. Never heard of it. Right, so you can see we can make it out of silicon and water. A chemical lab. We do not currently have a chemical lab. But anyway, we need to find silicon and water. It's over here. Okay. It would appear that we need to produce quartz ourselves, and we need a chemical lab for that. Need to have an income of water and silicon. But sending over some silicon. Set up a separate landing pad for that. And we can also start expanding our thing again. That's that. Alright, chemical lab. I've researched the chemical lab. Dreams do come true. I've always wanted my very own chemical lab. Good job, Stella. So according to the wiki, we should combine water and silicon in the chemical lab. Indeed. So we do that for this one. Up a chemical lab here. Extract silicon. Water. This, and then guide pipe over there. And that should do it. Just you start seeing it show up over here. There comes the quartz. Now we're finding a steady stream of quartz. Do you need anything further, Science of? Maybe a tissue, a chemical lab. It's just so beautiful. I wish we'd brought a poet on this mission. Come on now, Stella. Now is the time for crystal clear findings and rock solid sight. Captain, that's very poetic. Let's deliver the quartz to the excavation site so Ruth can separate the stream. Indeed, let's do that. Now, of course, we need another landing pad for that. Alternatively, I could disconnect maybe the uranium, but currently the excavation site is still hoovering up the materials, so I don't want to do that. Okay. There goes the quartz. You find that usually when the excavation sites have finished their purpose, it will cease accepting materials, so you might want to change anything. Alright, that solves this mission. I've never seen birds gather resources so fast. Seems that mystery is an excellent motivator. Now, let's take a closer look at the strange object. Hold on to your birdie butts. Just gotta lift this thing carefully, and I can... Oh, Captain, you're not gonna believe this, but it's flying. Quick, get you to my rover. That'll stop it from floating away. It's not floating away, it's just floating. Like magic. We must see what's inside this. It could be like a tiny alien spaceship or something. Excuse me, if you're gonna open this potentially dangerous object, we're doing it in a controlled lab environment. You heard Stella. To the lab. Man team only. Oh, and Ensign Yoke, you come too. I don't want you to miss this. This is fascinating. Looks like a rock. Oh my. You figure out what it is? Something's not native to our system. Came from all the way from over here. Ooh. Alright. And that is complete a level. The base level. There are achievements you can do. Which gives you a store, which gives you rewards you can potentially use. Now I have used these to unlock some of the upgrades that you can get. They weren't active in this particular mission. There is a lot of resources to find and use. Let's stay here actually and go to level selection, because I have played through this what's available, and let's go into slightly more intense little bit of leveling. So we're going over to Ravsicle, where it is much colder, and we've had to go and develop an interesting form of insulation. Singular invention. Is it just me, or did it get a lot flapping colder? It's so cold, my plants. Forget the plants. Brewster 9000 is the only serving iced coffee now. Stella, we need some serious insulation. Agreed. My forehead feathers just froze to the microscope. We'll need a flexible, durable material for that. What about our feathers? You and the fledglings are molting as we speak. Yeah, shedding like a breadcrumb trail. There's another one. Ruth, you rugged genius. That might actually work. I'll design a mesh installation cup. See, I don't need no fancy diplomas. School of Hard Packs taught me all I needed to know. I do like all the bird puns. As a matter of fact, there are no convenient liquid water deposits in this system. We'll have to tweak our chem lab recipes. We have no other option than to stay here for a while and solve the temperature issues once and for all. Indeed. So, we need the insulation mesh covers, which look like a pair of socks. For that, we need a stuff factory, where we get feathers thread together to make insulation mesh cover. Can't currently research this, because we don't have that. Let's actually just find an asteroid so we can start. Now, in order to make thread, I need either a conductor and feathers. Make thread. Right. Getting a little distracted by my furry friend over here. Not stand there, please. Walk. So insistent. Anyway. Right, so we can make conductors. That we need gold and plastic. Or gold and glass. So we need to make something either way. Now, plastic, for that we need hydrocarbons, which we need methane and carbon. Carbon we can take from methane and oxygen. Alright, looks like there's methane and oxygen. Let's start here then. And here we have another form of resource, essentially ice of various kinds. Methane ice, and this is ice. That cold. And we can use the ice extractors to get stuff from it. Module quest. Well, we probably will need. Let's go with methane for now. Start this. Got the basic result going. Essentially, I wanted to show off this level just to see, show how tricky some of the things can get. Now let's just get stuff. We need gold at some point, so let's load our sails. But since I have unlocked the upgrades for some of these things, I can upgrade this level 2. Yeah, missing an achievement because one of the achievements for this particular zone is to get to level what by not upgrading anything. But I just wanted to demonstrate it, which now means that this thing can handle 6 input. Should send methane into the area. Wait, and let's actually just put this in queue. It's not most important right now. Anyway, we were here because we wanted to create carbon. For that we need a chemical lab, methane, and where would that most place be? Well, convenient, perhaps. We've been given so many structures that they have their individual tabs now. We need it. Methane, oxygen, by into carbon. Hydrocarbons requires methane, carbon. Can't place structures on ice, but that is for very good reason. Methane, carbons. That going here. So this now creates hydrocarbons. We then can use a refiner. Into plastic. We have burned through all our money reserves. Set the rover down, let's drop some credits. Till we have our passive income going. It'll take a while. The methane is maxed out, so that we don't have to send them any more of that. Plastic is gonna take a bit, but it doesn't need anywhere near as much. The various produced materials require much less in order to generate the maximum stars. That's good. Still have more than enough of that. We need to start making some feathers. That is ability that I don't have yet. To craft insulation mesh covers, we need a hefty amount of feathers. Sourcing them won't be an issue, but transporting them will be a pain. It will be very easy to drop where we need them. How about we set up a little winter resort up there? Beep beep. Absolutely. Don't worry. Make sure the habitats are properly heated before anyone moves in. And search the habitat, which requires ceramic and glass. That. That's it. Way down. You can be up top. So we need ceramic, which requires carbon and either silicon or aluminium. Cannot get on this rock, so find another one. So we have a choice of either one of these. This one would be the easiest. This asteroid's a giant ice cube. Ain't no way we're gonna build a factory on that slippery surface. We can't even get to the resources underneath. How about flamethrower? Strap it to Yoke's rover and let us zoom around a little melted ice and Tuxie Vale over. That's far too risky. We might roast Yoke in the process. We need a proper tool to melt the ice caps. Let me think of something up. That gets us the filter. That's how difficult some of these quests can get. Now, it wants carbon. We need to deliver it to the station. Acid. Acid we can make from sulfur and carbon or methane. Sulfur. Methane and sulfur is probably the easiest way to do. But we can't do it here because this place is just too covered in ice. Let's check the other asteroids. And we have some uranium, iron, and sulfur there. We have some uranium and silicon. Discover more asteroids. Now we have a reason to actually get some science. So, how bad is it? Right, we at least have access to sulfur, methane, some uranium. Let's start producing some acid. Get at the science. We will need to. I think we need a few more items researched. And we need money as well. The acid being produced. Yeah, this mission will probably take a little bit long to solve directly. But yeah, as you can see, it gets quite hectic as far as search can go. A lot of stuff we can find, especially in the later missions. I get in here. Right, so this is the final mission access, but yeah, basically we have one big asteroid where we have to produce everything. That's not really the best way to show that. Can you hear? On the plaque. Yeah. Lots of things moving about. Being produced and all that, and so many asteroids haven't touched yet. Overall, I really like what I see here. Wonder what it will look like when it's finished. But obviously, yeah, there's not much else to show beyond basics that I showcased right here. I overall do like the story that is set in process. I like the aesthetic as well. And yeah, hoping to see more of this at some point in the future. If you enjoyed, there's a link to the page on Steam. Wishlist it if you like. And thank you for watching. See you all next time. Bye.